Welcome to the Concordia College Football Show. I have the special privilege of being joined by the women's volleyball coaching staff. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thanks, Norm. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Great season so far. You know, you surpassed your wins from last season. You have a very young team, and you're still set up in a position to make a run in conference.
Yeah, that's true, Norm. As you mentioned, sometimes 4, sometimes 5 freshmen on the floor at once. They're getting a lot of valuable learning time. I've had some ups and downs, lost some close matches, but as you mentioned, we're 4-3 in the conference and still in a position to make the playoffs, so we feel good about where we're at right now.
Okay, what are some of the strengths that your team possess right now?
Well, one, we are young, so we have a big learning curve, but we get to teach them the way we want to teach them. Mm-hmm. So they get to come in and they get to learn Concordia volleyball. So, being young, but then we also have some great leadership. We have our senior Haley Cuppett. She's teaching them Concordia volleyball also, and our junior Brianna Carney, they're great leaders for us, so they're moving us in the right direction and teaching them well.
Right. Now, most of the people out there know Coach Tim Moser. He's a staple around here as far as Concordia volleyball. But I want to introduce Morgan Hoover. Welcome, Morgan.
Well, thanks.
How have you enjoyed your time in Concordia-Moorhead so far?
I really enjoyed it. I'm coming from Maryland, so I wasn't exactly sure what to expect coming out here, but I've really enjoyed the couple months that I've been here.
Okay, so like in Maryland right now, it's probably still in the 50s. Maybe.
Yeah, just last week I had a lot of people telling me it's still 80 degrees there. Kind of jealous, but now they're like, hey, finally, it's fall and it's 50, 60 degrees.
Everything's starting to, what do we call it?
Starting to change.
Yeah, reddish. Orange.
Yeah.
That's beautiful country out there.
It is.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about yourself. School?
I went to Frostburg State University, graduated in 2015. I played all 4 years as the starting middle. Got my degree in recreation and parks management. Then I went on to Washington College, which is also another small school in Maryland. Mm-hmm. And while I was there, got my grad degree online from California University of Pennsylvania.
Okay. Now, you're also going to be teaching a class here in the fall, in the spring, excuse me. Tell us a little bit
I'll
about
be teaching 3 wellness classes in the spring. So, never taught a class before, so new adventure. We'll see how this goes.
Well, good luck with that.
Thanks.
Okay. So, Tim, you guys faced a Morris team last night that you won the first set, but they kind of rallied and put things together and came away with the W. Tell me some of the positives you took away from last night's game.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we never look at just wins and losses. Look at how do we play, how do we control the controllables. Like you said, the first set we won, give Morris credit, they took the second and third set. I was really impressed with how we played the fourth set. Again, all the games were very tight. We actually scored more points than they did throughout the entire match. But we could have rolled over and died. We didn't. We made a couple adjustments, and our kids came through really in that fourth set. And even in the fifth set, we were very competitive, just came up a little bit short. So some of the big takeaways, I think, is when we're playing with energy and confidence and relaxed, we're very, very good, and the team knows that. So just a play or two here or there, and it could have been a different story. So we're excited about how we're playing, how we're competing, and we know that that's going to lead to good results down the road.
Okay. Now you guys have the next 3 on the road at Gustavus Adolphus, St. Olaf, and back at Minnesota Morris. 4 on the road because you face St. Catherine also. Gustavus Adolphus, they're usually a strong team. Are they strong again this season?
Yeah, they are. They're leading the conference, and they're also ranked nationally. Interesting fact, even last year we faced them at this time, and they came to our house, and we swept them 3-0. So our kids know that when we're playing well, we can beat anyone. Gustavus is a great team, but if we're playing well, we can beat them. St. Olaf is a big matchup for us, too, because that's probably a matchup of 2 teams. Winner there is probably in the playoffs. Loser there is probably out of the playoffs. So it's a big weekend for us. And then, of course, going back to Morris to try to redeem ourselves, see if we can get that. And then St. Catherine's a big match for us, too. Even though they're kind of in the bottom part of the conference, they always play us tough. It's going to be an important match for us to make sure that we're very, very sharp. And, of course, we end at home with St. Ben's, who's a very good team as well. So 4 conference matches. But we feel good about where we're at. We know if we play well, we can control it, and we can come out with victories in all of those. But if we can come out with at least 2-2 or 3-1, we should be looking at the playoffs.
Okay. Now, Friday and Saturday is Gustavus St. Olaf. I assume you go directly to Gustavus and spend the night in a hotel and the next day at St. Olaf. But Tuesday and Wednesday, it's Morris and then St. Catherine. Do you guys come back Tuesday night and then travel out again Wednesday to go to St. Catherine?
Actually, next week is our fall break. So we are going to stay overnight in a motel. We're going to go from Morris to a motel between Morris and the Twin Cities, and then we'll stay there, and then we'll go play St. Catherine's Wednesday evening. So it is an overnight trip for us as well.
Okay. Now, explain it. Football, we talk about this a lot, that student athletes that come to Concordia get a real college feel when it comes to participating in sports in this conference, because for the most part, most of the teams in conference are within driving vicinity of each other, within an hour tops. But with Concordia, every road game is travel. It's travel, and that's something that you don't really experience at the other schools.
And that's true. Morgan and I were talking the other day, when St. Thomas plays St. Kate's, it's a 5-minute drive, And every time we go, it's 2.5, 3, 4 hours, So it's different. It has its positives and its negatives. I like getting out of town sometimes. Sometimes you actually get more done. It can be a time for team bonding as well. At the same time, our student athletes have to be very, very focused because, as Morgan knows from playing college volleyball, you have to manage your time well when you're going to miss a lot of classes.
Yeah. And how does that play into your recruiting when it comes to student athletes? Typically, women are better student athletes than men. I'm just going to put that out there. Yeah. But how does that play in the recruiting aspect? Because you're going to have to recruit a strong athlete, but a strong student on top of that.
Well, generally, when you look at volleyball players, they're kind of smart anyway.
They picked a good sport.
Yeah, they picked a good sport. So it's just whenever we're recruiting, we're also looking for players that can come in and they have the grades to, one, get into Concordia because it's a high academic school, but then we also know that they're going to succeed and do well. So we look for that in players whenever we're recruiting them.
We have what's called the AAA player, academics, athletics, attitude. Academics have to be first. They have to be able to take care of that. Athleticism, hopefully they're good on the court. They need to have some of that. Then attitude. We want someone who, even though their skills may not be the greatest, if there's someone that can really build up the team and make the team better and give us that energy we need, we'll look at them too. So those are our AAA players that we look for.
Okay. Well, I really want to thank you guys for coming in and joining us on this bye week for football. Good luck this weekend at Gustavus and St. Olaf, and just one at a time. You can only knock them off one at a time here. So good luck this weekend, guys.
You got it. Thanks, Ron. Appreciate it.
All right. Welcome back to the Concordia College Football Show. I'm now joined by women's soccer coach Rebecca Oshirak. Did I say that right?
Yes, yeah, close.
Oshirak.
Yeah.
Oshirak?
Yeah,
okay, that's
enough.
Close enough?
Good enough for me.
All right. Hey, welcome to the show. Welcome to Concordia, your first year here. How are things going for you so far?
Things are going really well. Concordia is a great community, and honestly, things are going fairly well in the season. Great group of kids, and honestly, I couldn't be more happy with how things are going.
Okay. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you're Allegheny College, 2011 graduate. You are from Pittsburgh, right?
Just north of Pittsburgh, so actually the same place that Allegheny College is from, Meadville, Pennsylvania. Once I graduated from Allegheny College, I spent a year at Earlham College. After that, I was coaching both the men and the women as the assistant coach at Thomas More College down in northern Kentucky. After that, I went to Tennessee Tech, and I was an assistant there for 3 seasons. And then after that, I went to Youngstown State, and now I'm here.
Okay. Now, we were talking over homecoming weekend. You weren't really that big into soccer right away, were you?
No, actually, I did not start playing until I was about 13 or 14 years old, so I got in late. But it seems to have stuck for me. So.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about your team. Last year, there were some struggles. There were some serious struggles. But this season, you guys have surpassed last year's win totals. But on top of that, you are in every single game, and every single game is a battle to the finish. And that's just a fight that I didn't see in them before. Is that you instilling your personality into them, or what is it? What is it about this team that they are exciting to watch?
I mean, I hope that it's a little bit of my personality. I think it's really our training sessions. Like every single day we come in and we are fighting. We are absolutely competing. We're battling, but we're also a really great team. And so we care about one another. We take care of each other. But when it comes to winning or losing, we want to win, and we want to win against each other in training. We want to win when we get on the field, and we just don't give up. And that's the thing that I love the most about my kids right now is that fight. Even when things are hard, they continue to battle through, and they don't give up. At St. Kate's, they could have given up, honestly, when we were down 2-0, and we battled back, made it 2-2, but ended up losing the game. But honestly, like, we were super competitive, and we never rolled over on that. So.
Now, unfortunately, when you guys play on weekends, it's at home. It's typically butted up against a football game. So
right.
I have to walk over and sneak a peek from time to time.
Sure.
Maybe if you guys are still playing at halftime, I can sneak a peek or whatever. But you always hear yelling and different things coming from over there, and it's intriguing because you have to go and check it out because they're fighting, and I love it. I absolutely love the way that this team has embraced you and what I think is probably your style, and it's only going to look up from here. Tell me about your assistant.
So Josh actually joined us from the Twin Cities, so he moved here specifically to help out, and he's been with us throughout the whole season, so it's been going well.
Oh, he's a Concordia College graduate.
Yes, he is. He actually, I think, played one season for Ben Schneweis.
Okay. Now you guys are towards the bottom end of your schedule here. You have St. Thomas at Augsburg, at Bethel, and then home to
St.
finish
Mary's
up against St. Mary's. How are you guys conference-wise, and is there potential for postseason play?
Yeah, absolutely. There's potential. Right now we're 1 point out, and that's really what we're battling for is to get in, just to get that opportunity. Augsburg, Bethel, St. Thomas are all top of the conference right now, but St. Olaf was also top of the conference, and honestly, that doesn't mean anything for us. We go out every day. Doesn't matter who we're playing, what game it is. We're looking to win every single day, and that's just kind of our mindset. And we've been doing that since Buena Vista, and we've just carried that on throughout the entire year, and that's what we plan to do. And honestly, we're looking at it as if we win games, we take care of what we have to do, then things will sort themselves out. But that's all we can really worry about is, can we win those games?
Okay. Now let's get off into like the whole travel aspect of it. Do you guys travel with the men at all, or? Yeah,
we travel with the men quite a bit, which is a cool experience because. It's kind of like one big family at the end of the day. We get to go on the road, see them play. They get to watch us play. And then we get to support each other. So it's also nice to have that support that you don't always get on the road.
Okay. Now, being that this is your first year, you came in like the beginning of the summer, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Actually, I started in April. I came out for a couple weeks and trained the team, and then I went back to Youngstown and then brought all my stuff back with me in May, actually.
I guess with that being said, how much of an impact did you have in the recruiting process this past year?
So we got 9 kids that came in. It was kind of a hodgepodge class. We had a couple transfers. A few of these kids that I had a hand in. Some of them were already coming, and some of them... So it's kind of a mixed bag, but honestly, overall, every kid on this team is a great fit for this program, and I couldn't be happier with the group that we have right now. Everyone really fits. Everyone cares about the overall goal of the program, and honestly, from a soccer perspective, there's no one that's really like, oh, you're struggling. Everyone's on board, and they're on the same page really with everything, which is great.
All right. Well, good luck as you finish up the rest of the season, Rebecca.
Thanks,
Thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right. When we return, we'll have men's soccer coach Ben Schneweis. Thank you.
Thanks.
Welcome back to the Concordia College Football Show. I'm now joined by men's soccer coach Ben Schneweis. Ben, thanks for joining me, man.
Thanks for having me, Norm.
You guys have had a very, very eventful season so far. some tough losses, as we were just discussing.
Yeah.
But there's still potential for some postseason play here. Some things you have to win out, and some things have to go your way. But
Sure.
tell me a little bit about your team. What are some of the strengths? What are some of the positives that you can take out from the season so far?
Sure. Yeah, we're kind of a healthy mix of old and young. So we're of the 15, 16 guys that play, about half are juniors and seniors, and about half are freshmen and sophomores. So, we have some significant experience and really great leadership from our captains, and then we also have some really young, exciting players that have contributed from day one. So that part has been really fun. I think there's been a learning curve for some of those younger guys, and hopefully we've turned that corner because we've started to play well here as of late.
Okay. Talk about some of the young guys.
Sure.
You said young and exciting players. Can you just, who are they?
Yeah, so Nate Weaver has started almost every game for us up front and is tied for the lead in goals with 5 with one of our juniors, Arona Mukhtar. Tyson Oberle has played quite a bit in midfield and done very well for us as a young player. TJ Anderson, a local kid from here in Fargo, has played quite a bit up front. Nagaba Olivier has really come on here in the last few weeks, is playing in the back and starting for us right now as a wide back. And we got just a couple other guys that are cracking the lineup or getting in during games and giving us really good minutes, which has been really helpful for us now, but is also really exciting for the future. There's 11 guys in that class, and to have half of them kind of contribute right away and the other half kind of getting ready to contribute down the road is going to be really good for us.
Okay. Now, how's the season going so far for senior Austin Peterson? That guy works hard, man.
Yeah.
The whole summer we were running to each other in Olson Farm working out every day I was in there, he was in there, and I'm sure the days I missed, he was in there.
Yeah, every day's a lifting day for Petey. Just what a player. Number one, he's just a terrific player. Obviously, he's a physical force. And then there's a little bit of legend to him as well with his hair and his beard. There's the other teams talking about him, worried about him before the game. People call him the Viking. He's a terrific leader. He's a terrific player. He's a terrific teammate, and we've recently moved him kind of into midfield, and that I think has been part of us kind of turning the corner. He just really sits in that hole in front of the backs and wins every ball out of the air. He wins every tackle in his area, and it's just a physical force. 6'3", 230. He looks like he should be lining up on the turf field across the way, and so that his physical presence and leadership and experience, intelligence, skill is just really, really special, and we're certainly happy to have had him and already know we're going to miss him when he's gone.
Yeah. Now, Sunday you had a non-conference game against St. John's, and you won that one 2-1, but something pretty cool happened in that game. Tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, about 10 minutes into the second half, we served a ball in from the sideline, a dead ball to Austin Peterson, who's it's not hard to figure out he's going to be our target on a set piece. And he knocked it down to Sam Jess, who took it off his chest, and probably not as well as he wanted to, as the ball spun high above his head, but that also gave Sam a chance to do his favorite thing, which is an acrobatic effort. So he took the chance at a bicycle kick and connected and scored, and left a bunch of guys in red kind of looking around, wondering what happened, and the rest of us celebrating something really cool.
Yeah, that's, people see it all the time, and, in video games you want to try it and so on and so forth. That is a hard thing to do.
Yeah. Well, I've been coaching Sam since he was 15, and I can say for sure that he's tried that same play at least once a week for the last 6 or 7 years, and maybe even before that. So he's not the first time he's done it successfully. He scored a goal that way in high school. So it's something he loves to do, but he's also really good at it. And it's just a really fun way to score, and a great way for our program to get some notoriety and some attention here this last week.
And just the guts that it takes to attempt that. Everyone wants to be safe and, just let me just score. No, I'm a bicycle this one, and that takes some guts.
Well, if you've seen Sam play, he's got some flair to him. He likes to have the ball. He likes to run at players, opposing players. He likes to try to get past them to make them look silly when he can. So he's got that kind of swagger that it takes to do that and to do it successfully.
Okay. So with these last 4 games coming up, Northwestern comes here Thursday, but you travel to Augsburg and then Bethel, and then you finish up with St. Mary's at home. Talk a little bit about these teams that you have coming up?
Sure. I mean, I think, what we have to do is look at a game and figure out how to play our best and not worry about who it is. I mean, it's great to go to St. Thomas, a team that has done so well at the national level, and lose just 1-0 and have legitimate chances to win that game. It's a great performance for us, but we've got to figure out how to bring that same energy and intensity and passion to a non-conference game against Northwestern here at home, against a really good Augsburg team, against Bethel and St. Mary's. They're all good teams. There's no easy points in our league. We certainly feel like if we play well, we have a chance to win, but the formula for us is playing as hard as we can, as smart as we can, as well as we can, regardless of whether that team is ranked or where they sit in the standings. We got to figure out how to just play our game and play as hard and as well as we can.
Ben, I'd like to thank you for joining me, and I wish you success on the rest of the season. Hopefully you can take them all and then get some help from places where you need to get the help so the guys can continue their season.
That's the plan.
Thank you for joining me.
Thanks, Norm.
This has been the Concordia College Football Show.